What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another SNA podcast video. An AEW collision wasn't. Even though it wasn't the greatest episode tonight, but it still was a good show to make a video. And we're gonna start off on today's video with John Moxley taking on Shane Taylor. I'll say this was perhaps the third match of the night. With third match of the night, for being such a somewhat of an entertaining match or battle, but yeah, without further ado, we're going to talk about it right here, and that's where Shane Taylor got in the ring in Angelo Dawkins inspired gear, I should say. Looking like back when Angelo Dawkins was in NXT, and him and Montez's time in NXT back a few years ago. But I think it's probably a different kind of inspired gear, rather than Angelo Dawkins. But I'm just saying. But anyway, this is where he placed John Moxley right into the upper right corner. This is where he hit a big old chop, which I believe Gunther even felt like right across the country. Which I'm not sure where exactly he lives at. All I know is he just became a United States citizen recently. But anyways, yeah, wherever he's at, he probably felt it in that exact location, just by watching it on his television screen. If that's the case, if he's watching it, of course. But anyways, this is where Shane Taylor put him right back, or stalk him right back to that upper right corner. This is where he start shoving and rubbing his John Moxley's face and his shoulders, and it hit another nasty chop, which I wouldn't be surprised if it made his heart stop, but luckily it didn't, because that would be very bad. And they had to stop the match immediately. But luckily, like the old saying goes, or whatever doesn't kill you, make you stronger, which that was the case for John Moxley. He got right back up. This is where he's like, I hadn't felt the thing, even though I did felt how painful it is, but I just absorbed it up like some kind of a painless sponge. And this is where he tried to go for a chop right onto Shane Taylor. Shane Taylor would get right back. This is where John Moxley went right back at him until they hit forearms, which that's I believe that's the kryptonite of Gunther, to shield himself, from getting murked by the ring general. But anyway, until what's not Angelo Dawkins? I'm getting Shane Taylor and Angelo mixed up, I should say. Shane Taylor Irish whip him right to the upper left side corner, where he hits a big splash right on the John Moxley, went right down the bottom turnbuckle. But he managed to get himself back up, but not until after that. Shane Taylor Irish whip right to the diagonal side, which is in the bottom right. This is where he tried to go for a running splash, but John Moxley moved right out of the way. This is where John Moxley grabbed Shane Taylor's head. This is where he tried to go for a big pile driver, but it looks like Shane Taylor countered it and reversed it into a body drop, which he went flatlined right into the middle of the canvas of the ring. This is where John Moxley rolled right into the top corner apron. This is where he hits a shoulder tackle right on the Moxley. This is where Shane Taylor was like, I'm not doing no more after this. He's already being punished enough. And this is where the referee's like, you better not. You gotta give him a breather. Which, yeah, of course you need to. Even though if he's your opponent, arch rival, whatever the case may be. But this is where Shane Taylor was starting to taunt all the fans, saying I'm on the road, I'm on the road, bro. And this is where he started hitting the forearm right into the jaw of John Moxley. He hit another one. This is where John Moxley tried to go for a right hand, but nothing that came out of it. This is where Shane Taylor started hitting them minor fists right to the midsection until John Moxley landed his face right into some of the steel steps, or the left side of the upper right corner of the steel steps. This is where John Moxley's like, oh, you want to play dirty? You want to play hard? I'll give you something dirty and hard. I did throw him right there. This is where he threw him right back in the ring after he did such a maneuver. This is where Lee Moriarty went face-to-face right up to John Moxley. But John Moxley's like, oh, you want a piece of me now? You want some just like your big fella right up in the ring? And it's like, you can get some too. It could be a 2-for-1 deal for me. But he was but yeah, you're not gonna land no fence. So why I'm wasting my breath right now? This is where he went right back in the ring. This is where This is where the referee was not paying attention to Jon Moxley's side into the upper corner of the ringside area. But this is where Lee Moriarty took advantage, hit a big boot right into the face of Moxley. This is where Shane Taylor was pretending that he was not doing very well, but really he's still doing halfway fine during this match. This is where Shane Taylor pulls Moxley back in the ring, rolled him and pulled him, I should say. From the bottom, under the bottom ropes. This is where he hits a sidewalk slam, thinking that will be it, but that move doesn't work unless it's your finishing maneuver. Like, not even Kane or The Undertaker could get a win out of that move, like, even for being their signature or comeback move. But anyways, this is where Shane Taylor picks up Jon Moxley, put him in a sleeper, like a snapmare sleeper, right onto the former AEW champion. This is where he got up in an arm stretch lock, like and twisting at his wrist and his left arm towards the left. This is where Jon Moxley's like, nah, like you're not gonna have my body like I without my cold dead body. And then this is where Shane Taylor then slam him right back first, right into the middle of the canvas. This is where he tried to go for a pinfall, but he only got a 1-2.2, I suppose. Yeah, like he kicked out right after 2. This is where Shane Taylor dragged him right to the upper right corner. This is where he stomps him right to the midsection. This is where Shane Taylor tried to go for the some kind of a mid-rope pin drop splash, a big pin drop splash, I should recall. And this is where Jon Moxley rolls out of the way. This is where Jon Moxley then slowly and gradually get back up. He got on his knees. This is where it's a big forearm right to the face of Shane Taylor, but Shane Taylor responded right back. But the fans were going for Jon Moxley's side because he's facing a heel, and you know how the Blackpool Combat Clubs is like. Like if they're facing heels, they're gonna be the badass baby faces, and if they're facing baby faces, they're gonna be acting like the asshole heel. Which hopefully I don't get a warning or some kind of a strike for using the term. Which I don't think I will. Like at least especially if I say it once, so it probably doesn't matter as long as you're not having the cussing habits and swearing habits into making YouTube videos. But anyway, this is where I try to kick him right in the gut, but this is where Shane Taylor pushed him out of the way. This is where Moxley hits a Mox cutter out of nowhere, trying to take a shot at Randy Orton. But I'm not sure if Randy Orton would like this, Moxley perhaps taunting the Viper. But anyway, this is where Jon Moxley thought it was gonna be in his favor, like it's in Randy's favor. I was like, but Mox, even if it's a signature move, I'm not sure if it'll work for you. But anyway, this is where Jon Moxley gets. This is where he gets back up. This is where he's like, I can't pin him because he's about to get back up, so there's no point of pinning him right now. This is where Jon Moxley then waited until he got up and went into the lower left-hand corner side. This is where Jon Moxley then followed the former Ring of Honor champion, I believe. He hit a huge clothesline. He went right on top of him, right onto the bottom left corner. Started hitting right hands, but the fans started counting to 3. This is where he placed him right in the middle of the ring. This is where he tried to run right through the upper corner and back, and then try to hit a big clothesline. But this is where Shane Taylor was nowhere home because he ducked right out of the way and dodged it and hit a huge German suplex. This is where he spin him right back into a ripcord, try to go for a running clothesline, but this is where Jon Moxley ducks out of the way and then geniusly hits a spinning Regalplex, or I'm not sure if I should call it a Regalplex because now lifting up his leg rather than spin him around, more like a Doomsday suplex, like someone Karrion Kross does. But yeah, that's what he did to Shane Taylor on tonight's AEW Collision. This is where he hits a running rebound clothesline. This is where Jon Moxley then try to go for the Death Rider, but that didn't work, at least not this time, because like, you know the rules in pro wrestling / sports entertainment. Like, whether if it gets you the pinfall or not, like if the first maneuver doesn't work, the second time is a guarantee. But anyways, this is where Shane Taylor then hit a running lariat right onto Moxley. He went face first right into the canvas. This is where Jon Moxley's like, I need to get back up. And this is where Shane Taylor's like, man, how exhausting. And then I was like, yeah, like it's very exhausting when it comes to pro wrestling. Like, luckily, I'm like even though like I'm not in the square circle, at least not yet, but like I must be understanding like the pain that they had to endure like into industries like this just to achieve their dreams. But anyway, this is where Shane Taylor did hit a huge headbutt to Moxley, but Moxley answering right back with a big right hand to the face. And also not to mention a big headbutt right onto Shane Taylor, but Shane Taylor went right back and hit him headbutt again. John Moxley tried to go for a left right, but this time Shane Taylor dug the lefts and rights and the bob and weave, and then hit another big headbutt right to Moxley's face. This way, hit the knee strike on top of that, making it a headbutt knee strike combo. Which the knee strike part is the most common move, the commonly move that everybody uses in all of professional wrestling / sports entertainment in 2024 at least. But anyway, this is where after that he hits a big sit out right on the Moxley. He thought it was gonna be it, but John Moxley counters it into a triangle choke, like looking like an opposite version of the Hell's Gate, like the Undertaker's submission maneuver. This is where Shane Taylor was like, like no, like I'm not surrendering, even though this is very painful and you're really you're really closing out the air going in my lungs, like nothing's not gonna let me down. And this is where he was slowly, gradually about to pass out. This is where we checking on him. He was like, "Are you okay, Shane? Like, let me know, like, if you are or not." Like, this is where Shane was like, "Yeah, like, leave me alone." And this is where he picks up Moxley. I don't know how with what strength, because he was just a quarter of a second away from getting. Even though there's no such thing, I'm not sure if there's such thing as a quarter of a second. But anyways, but yeah, he was like seconds away from getting choked out. But I don't know with what strength how he lifted up Moxley and slammed him back first right into the middle of the ring. This is where Shane Taylor started hitting forearms and right hands right into the ribs of Moxley, but Moxley's like, "I know, I'm going for your hand." This is where he started hitting right hands to the head. This is where Moxley started hitting elbow strikes right into the shoulder and started doing it with his right elbow right to the left shoulder. This is where he hits a sliding swipe kick right into the head. This is where John Moxley is like, "You're mine now, boy." And then this is where he hits a running knee, which it is there, like Simon would say, the common move in all of sports entertainment in 2024, in professional wrestling, of course. This is where I try to go for a pin, but this is where Shane Taylor kicks out at 2.3. And this is where John Moxley was in shock. Like, even though that's not my finishing maneuver no more, but I thought that for sure that move would work. Like, if you get some kind of a random pop out of this move. This is where Moxley's like, "You're not going to be up for long." Like, this is where Shane Taylor's like, "Oh, yes, I am. And you're going to be the one that's not going to be up for long." And this is where they start hitting forearms right back in each other's faces, respectively. This is where the fans were cheering, "Yay" for Moxley every time he forearms Shane Taylor. But every time where Shane Taylor hits a forearm to Mox, he gets booed. This is where they're going back and forth like, "Yay, boo, yay, boo." In the St. Louis crowd. This is where he tried to go hit a bit of stroking forearm, like if it was Enzo Dawkins. I'm like, wow, you may just like him, but why you're wrestling just like the former Triple Crown WWE Tag Team Champion. This is where John Moxley somehow ducked out of Shane Taylor's clothesline, puts him down to the ground, put him into a rear naked choke. This is where Shane Taylor's like, "No, I'm not surrendering. I'm not surrendering. I never surrendered before, but I never surrendered before, and I still never will." This is where John Moxley was yanking and hanging off of Shane Taylor's back when he had him pinned face first in the ground. This is where he thought that, no. And this is where somehow John Moxley just made him choked out. I'm like, wow, like, did he literally just choke him out? Like, he didn't need to use his main finishing maneuver, which was the paradigm shift or the Death Rider, whatever the move is called. But yeah, but he used his submission hold just to put him to sleep. I was like, wow. Like, and he has, I believe, you have an extra guaranteed finishing maneuver for not using it for tonight's AEW Collision, which it could be an AEW Dynamite, even Rampage, but most like Dynamite or next or Collision, like you make his appearance. So I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets he successfully hits the paradigm shift or the Death Rider 2 times in a row, because for the fact that he still have an extra guaranteed finishing maneuver on him left over from this match against Shane Taylor. And your winner of tonight's opener of AEW Collision, Jon Moxley. And what's your thoughts on tonight's match? And do you agree or should be the number one match of the night? Let me know in the comments down below. I think it's third because we're gonna have so many more matches, like with the top two being up next, with which one of them being in the main event, the other one being in the mid card, like a couple matches before the main event. But anyways, we're gonna move on to the next. We're gonna move on to the next slide. But before we get to that, I just want to say, with John, talk about Jon Moxley doing a cutting a post match promo, like with him saying like, how you St. Louis fans doing here tonight? And everybody's like, yeah, we're doing well. But I wish I could say I'm the same, but I am totally pissed off right now. Like, I'm hungry. Like, I'm of my beliefs. He's like, and at this moment on, like, I'm going to take my ticket. Like I'm no longer going to take any crap from anyone else as I'm moving forward in 2024. And in this year, like, anybody who wants to step up, like, in the ring with me, like, anybody wants to cross paths with me, like, and anybody wants to bring themselves out, like, get to me, like, or any colleague of mine, like one thing out of another, like. And he was like, but there's one thing I want from you, is to keep the hell up. And that's where he dropped the microphone, like, with a tiring voice, I should say. Like, sound like something that's not like me when I play too much with my nephew, of course. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what exactly he meant by that, which I think he's not going to take nobody's shenanigans, no matter who it can be. Like, if someone's going to be in his way, he's going to get him out of there instantly, which I would say Jon Moxley, like, kind of would probably have a point on that, because even though he's been killing it for the past year, even without a title, and he haven't been champion in over a year, but you don't even need a AEW, you need a world championship just to make him look very relevant. And I mean, he haven't been champion overall in AEW for the past couple of months. Like, his last title win was against Orange Cassidy for the international championship, until soon after Ray Phoenix defeated him in a very unexpected way, like, where Jon Moxley was supposed to win that match, but it looks like they something happened, like, when him something happened to poor Jon Moxley with a concussion protocol, like with him getting hit in the head right into the canvas, I believe, and then the referee did not sure what to do when Jon Moxley wasn't kicking out at 2. But Jon Moxley looks okay. I'm glad that, and I forgot to mention this on my wrestling news video, but I'm gonna mention it right here on my review video. But yeah, I'm glad he's doing all right, and I'm glad to see him as he's going forward in pro wrestling in the year of 2024. But yeah, well, and also we're gonna move on to the next slide, which was Hook, with the vignette of Hook and Samoa Joe in their match from this past Wednesday on Dynamite, which Samoa Joe, which shows Samoa Joe still beating him despite Hook bringing the fight to the Samoan submission machine. But I would say he did brought one hell of a fight despite not winning and walking out as AEW champion. But he still managed to make this match the match of the night. I'll say number one match of the night from this past Wednesday on Dynamite's review. But next up, we do have, after they showed that, in which Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page confronted him to be the next challenger. He was worrying, like he got put up with guys like Swerve and Hangman, the two arch rivals to each other. That once they both won a spotlight in the AEW Championship picture. But anyway, this is where we got the rated R superstar Adam Copeland. And I'm not sure if you're getting used to that name or not, but I'll say I'm kind of am like when every time I play WWE 2K23, I accidentally call Edge Adam Copeland, especially when I'm playing general manager mode. But that's story for another day. But anyways, he was being prepared to face the underrated Dante Martin, which I'm not saying in an insulting way, but I'm saying in a truthful way because he hardly gets the spotlight that he deserves. Like when it comes to being known as a star in AEW. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're gradually pushing him to that point. Like whether if he in singles action or even in the trios or tag team division, like whether if it's for the AEW tag belts or the AEW trios belts, like they look more than ready. Like he looks more than ready with his brother Dante and their tag team brother Action Andretti. But anyway, he did brought the fight the rated R superstar, and even at the end of the match, he did gave him a very complimentary and heartwarming compliment to the young star, like how really great he is. That's why I should that's why I should put it. That's how I should put the term, like with him with my version of with Adam describing him as. But anyway, this is where Adam Copeland places Mr. Dante Martin right to the bottom left corner. This is where he Irish whipped him right to the top right. But this is where Dante Martin countered him and threw him instead, like into the corner. This is where he tried to go right at him. But this is where Adam throws him face first right onto kick him face first right onto the upper right, I believe. Yeah, the upper right. This is where Adam Copeland tried to go on the top rope, but he gets hit with a step-up instigiri right onto the Dante Martin. This is where Dante Martin right on the top rope. So he putting him more right hands right to the face. But this is where Adam pushes him right on top. But somehow Dante Martin hits the most ricochetiest move in all the sports entertainment / pro wrestling and moonsault right from that shove and got up very, very safely. This is where he dodges Adam Copeland's dive, and then once he was down on the ground, this is where Dante Martin hit a standing rolling senton right onto the ribs of the rated R superstar. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but Adam kicked out of it at 2.2, I would say, which that's very rare for individual kick out. But these in the past couple of days, these wrestlers been kicking out on on the numbers of the exact count. But this is where Adam then Irish whip him right to the upper right corner side. But Dante Martin springboard and hit a knee strike right to the face of Adam. This is where Dante Martin charges at the rated R superstar, but this is where he flips him right over right to the bottom corner. This is where he hits a step-up instigiri right to the head of the former multi-time world champion. But this is where Adam Copeland got provoked and he whammed Dante Martin's head right into Tina the Turnbuckle, even though he don't have nothing personal about the young star. That's where Adam Copeland's like, did I really just do that? Like, I didn't mean to try to harm him, but I'm just trying to do my job as an in-ring competitor. And he's like, let's sunset flip right off the right into try to drop Dante Martin right on the floor, but Dante Martin started hitting right hands right to the face of the rated R superstar. This is where he had Adam right where he wanted him. This is where he tried to go for a sliding dip Hurricane Rana right on him, right to the right corner side of the ringside area. This is where This is where this is where Dante Martin run right to the right court side to the left. Here's a suicide dive on the edge, Adam Copeland. And And here's where he throws him back in the ring. This is where Dante Martin then gets right on the apron onto the left corner side. This is where he get ready to hit a springboard. Try to go for a springboard dive into a crossbody, which is the ultimate comeback move in sports entertainment in 2020 and 2023. Like, which it's partially like comeback move in 2024, but mostly 2023. But but us IWC guys are focusing on the most common maneuver in 2024 in all sports entertainment and pro wrestling. But this is where he nearly got him at 2.8. Like after the I was like, how could excuse me. With Adam Copeland trying to crawl on his knees is where he This is where Irish whip Adam Copeland right to the bottom side. This is where Dante Martin did the most idiotic mistake in all of sports entertainment / pro wrestling. Is bowing his head right before he even comes his way with Adam Copeland kicking it easily. This is where Adam Copeland then tried to go for a headlock, but luckily for Action Andretti, this is where he tried to go for a fireman slam, but this is not fireman, a full Nelson slam, but Adam Copeland countering it into an impaler, I should say. This is where Adam Copeland went flat on the ground after hitting such a maneuver. This is where the referee was doing this count, but this is where then Dante Martin hit a moonsault right onto Andrade. This is where he hit the moonsault right on to Adam, but this is where Adam got his leg right on the road. This is where this girl in the glasses was nearly half as shocked as the Undertaker fan on WrestleMania 30 when Brock Lesnar defeated the Dead Man Streak. But yeah. But this is where Dante Martin then later on did go up right back on the top rope. This is where he tried to go for another one, but I don't think that was gonna work because that wasn't guaranteed. Like, what if it's a signature or finisher? It's not gonna work the second time. And this is where Adam Copeland's I still have a